All right, REC, I am launching. We are 3 minutes till. I will pass it over right at the top of the hour. This is Rappahannock Electric Cooperative. In a few moments, we will begin the 2022 annual meeting. During this time, we will conduct the annual business meeting, hold elections for the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative Board of Directors, and answer your questions during the member comment session. Please stay on the line, and the meeting will begin promptly at 7 p.m. In a few moments, we will begin the 2022 annual meeting. During the registration process for Rappahannock Electric Cooperative's annual meeting, you provided an email to receive instructions to vote in tonight's meeting. Emails were sent to all registered participants earlier today, and voting opened at 6 p.m. If you have not already done so, please refer to the email from noreply@directvote.net for the voting instructions. You can vote now or when prompted during the meeting. Voting will close when the meeting is adjourned. In a few moments, we'll begin the 2022 annual meeting. If you'd like to ask a question during the member comment session tonight, please press 0 at any time during the meeting. Again, to ask a question during the comment session, please press 0. The 2022 annual meeting will now begin. Please welcome Rappahannock Electric Cooperative Board Chairman, Mr. Chris Shipe.
Good evening. On behalf of your board of directors, it's my pleasure to welcome our members, guests, and employees all joining us by phone or online to the virtual Rappahannock Cooperatives annual meeting. I'm Chris Shipe, chairman of the board and your director from Region 2. Along with the REC leadership team, we thank you for taking time to join us this evening, whether you're watching us via live stream or connected to us by the phone. At this time, I call the 2022 annual business meeting to order, and Miss Darlene Carpenter, your director from Region 3, will offer a memorial of silence, invocation, and pledge of allegiance.
Good evening. I'm Darlene Carpenter, Director for Region 3. Before we go to our invocation, we would like to honor those in our cooperative family who recently passed away. Please join me for a moment of reflection and remembrance for our friends and anyone you wish to keep in your thoughts and prayers. Tonight, we honor the following employee retirees: Dennis Jones, James Allen, Francis Walters, Carlton Harris, Polly Skinner, Danny Smith, Carol Ray Schools, Harvey Ship. Please join now for the moment of silence. Thank you. Please join me for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we humbly ask your presence here today at the annual meeting of the members, and we thank you for each mind and heart that participates in these proceedings. We thank you, Lord, for the talents, abilities, and dedication of each person involved in doing the work of this great cooperative, and we ask a special blessing upon our men and women as they continue every effort to provide the service the members expect in the most safe and efficient way. Watch over them and provide safety to them in this most hazardous profession. Thank you for the many blessings across the REC territory this past year as we, together with our membership, navigate the changing world around us. Thank you for the opportunity to share the work of this cooperative with the membership. Let this annual meeting be filled with your Spirit, Lord, and our deliberations and decisions pleasing in your sight. These things we ask in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Please stand as you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Chairman, I now return the meeting to you.
To serve you, the members. Our mission is connecting you, our member owners, and our communities with safe, reliable, affordable, and most important, sustainable energy solutions. Although our service territory is very large, over 4,000 square miles, covering portions of 22 counties, and with over 172,000 connections, we are one community. We are REC. Let's start tonight by celebrating the generosity of you, our member owners, and the impact your generation and your generosity has had on the communities we serve.
As an REC member, you have the power to make a difference in our communities. Each month, over 31,000 member owners round up their electric bill to donate to the Power of Change. Others contribute a set amount each month or make a one-time donation. Through their generosity, more than $180,000 was awarded last year to 36 nonprofits serving our communities. Additional funds were awarded earlier this year. Here's what that means. Your Power of Change donations have supported such groups as Holly's Heart Foundation, Cornerstone Community Development Center, Winchester Area Temporary Thermal Shelter, Empower House, Heroes Bridge of Fauquier, Leashes of Valor, Godfrey Miller Home of Frederick County, the Louisa County Historical Society, the Middletown Volunteer Fire and Rescue Company, the Orange County Free Clinic, and Pony Partners of Louisa. We hope you'll consider joining the 31,000 member owners helping to make these donations possible. Learn more and sign up today at thepowerofchange.org.
Thank you to over the 31,000 member owners who voluntarily give to the Power of Change. Your impact is significant, and we are honored to celebrate your generosity. Also, thank you to the Care Charity Board of Directors for your time and dedication to oversee this very important program and ensuring the funds that our members donate are used in the most impactful ways possible. Tonight's meeting is very important. The annual meeting is just one aspect of your cooperative's democracy in action. And I would like to acknowledge and thank our members for your participation in the election process. To make sure the word has gotten out, the election process over the past several weeks has been highlighted in the Cooperatives communications, and participation by all members has been strongly encouraged. As a result, over 15,000 cooperative member owners have participated by returning proxies and registering for tonight's meeting. All of this has helped shape your cooperative. I would now like to take a moment to introduce your board of directors, executive staff, and general counsel. Your board of directors: Mr. Mike Lindsay, serving from Region 1. Ms. Darlene Carpenter from Region 3. The Reverend Sanford Reeves, Jr., who is your corporate secretary from Region 4. Randy Thomas, who serves as your corporate treasurer from Region 5. Linda Gray, who serves from Region 6. Mark Wood from Region 7. Eric Paulson from Region 8. And Eugene Campbell, Jr. from Region 9. I'd also like to take a moment to introduce the Cooperatives executive team. The President and Chief Executive Officer is Mr. John Hua. The Chief Engagement and Consumer Officer is Tracy Steiner. Chief Strategy, Technology, and Innovation Officer is Mr. Peter Mahuru. Chief Administration and Finance Officer is Larry Andrews. Chief Engineering and Grid Operations Officer, John Arp. And the Executive Assistant and Assistant Secretary of the Board, who keeps us so well organized, Ms. Whitney Watts. I would now like to introduce the Cooperative's General Counsel, Mr. Charlie Payne, to facilitate the election and business portion of the 2022 annual meeting. Attorney Payne.
Thank you, Chairman Shipe, and good evening. I am Charlie Payne, your General Counsel for the Cooperative and the parliamentarian for this evening's director's election. This evening's election will be held in accordance with the Cooperative's bylaws and Robert's rules where applicable. As we begin the business session of our meeting tonight, I would like to first call our Region 4 board member and board secretary, Mr. Sanford Reeves, to provide the secretary's report. Mr. Reeves?
Good evening. The first three items as prescribed in the bylaws, Article 3, Section 7, order of business are as follows. Determination of a quorum. According to Article 3, Section 4 of the bylaws of the cooperative, 2 1/2% of the members calculated based on the number of members at the time the proxy distribution list is prepared, present in person, by proxy and by remote communication, as applicable, shall constitute a quorum. Proxies were mailed to 146,794 active accounts beginning on July the 1st, 2022. 2 1/2% of that figure is 3,670. We will have 15,361 participating by proxy and 21 participating live in the virtual event. Secondly, reading of the official meeting notice and proof of the publication. The 2022 annual meeting will take place virtually on August 10th beginning at 7 p.m. Notification of the annual meeting was included in the mailing of the registration and proxy designation form to all members in July via direct mail. Announcements were also distributed with the electric service bills by email and via Cooperative Living magazine. Third, 2021 annual meeting minutes. It has been determined by the parliamentarian that due to the minutes of the 2021 annual meeting being available to all members and the public in advance on REC's website, the reading of the minutes is not needed as no corrections or questions have been presented. Minutes were made available on August 4th, 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Reeves, for your report. As Mr. Reeves noted, we have a quorum. So now on to the election of the directors. For purposes of the Cooperative Board, there are currently 9 directors which were earlier introduced to you, serving. 1 member from each of the Cooperatives regions. These regions exist to ensure that the board represents the broad geographic diversity of the Cooperatives service area. Directors are elected by the entire membership, and you may vote for all open director positions on the ballot, not just those in your region. For purposes of this evening's election, Regions 1, 6, and 7 will be voted on tonight. To provide consistency of experience and leadership on the board, all director terms for election are a period of 3 years each and are staggered so that annually at least 3 directors are elected for a 3-year term. Nominations pursuant to Article 4, Section 4 of our bylaws are accomplished by written petition that must be signed by no fewer than 25 members in good standing and submitted no less than 100 days prior to the annual meeting. All candidates are then published in the July issue of the Cooperative Living magazine. Each candidate provided written statements about themselves, and each made a video a few months prior to tonight's meeting. Those statements and videos were placed on REC's website in advance of this evening's meeting and election. In addition, information about the candidates was included in the proxy designation form mailer delivered by mail to each member owner in July. Thus, in accordance with the Cooperative's bylaws, there are no nominations accepted from the floor. Again, this year, there is 1 candidate for Region 1, there are 4 candidates for Region 6, and 1 candidate for Region 7, and I will read them as follows. Region 1, incumbent Michael Lindsay, is running unopposed. Region 6, candidates are Milton R. Bush, incumbent Linda R. Gray, Joy Carter Minor, Mac A. Wright, Jr. And for Region 7, incumbent J. Mark Wood is running unopposed. The election process has been conducted by an independent third-party entity, and the process has also been independently audited by the accounting firm Ryan, Hodges, and Associates CPAs. The online voting portal officially opened tonight at 6 p.m. and closes tonight when the meeting adjourns. Member registration opened at 7 a.m. on August 4th and closed at 5 p.m. on August 5th. Members who registered for tonight's meeting received voting instructions providing access to the online voting portal. Again, the voting portal opened tonight at 6 p.m. If you have not already logged in, please take a moment to now pull up your URL and login credentials that you received in the email address you provided at registration. Once you're logged in, you will access your individual voting ballot. If you were assigned as a designated proxy by someone who was unable to join us this evening, you will also see the proxy ballot. For those who received a proxy ballot, again, you have been named as a proxy by 1 or more members of REC. If the member who named you as their proxy selected candidates for their vote, you will see designated proxies totals listed next to each candidate. If a member did not select a candidate, the vote will be shown as undesignated on the proxy ballot. You must select the box next to the candidate of your choice to cast their vote. By completing and submitting the online form, these votes will be cast. Remember, you may only vote for 1 candidate in each region, but you can vote for each region that's available this evening. Thank you, everyone. The online voting portal will be open until the meeting adjourns. Tomorrow afternoon, the election results will be posted on our website, www.myrec.coop. And thank you again for your participation in this election. Next on the agenda, you will hear the presentation of the officers' reports, We will begin with the 2021 Treasurer's Report from our Treasurer, Mr. Randy Thomas.
Good evening. I'm Randy Thomas, your board member from Region 5 and the board treasurer. The board of directors is pleased to inform you that Rappahannock Electric Cooperative continued its tradition of strong financial performance in 2021. Revenue in 2021 was $409 million, about $7 million less than the previous year. The main reason for the decrease in revenue was lower energy rates and lower kilowatt-hour sales. 69% of the revenue came from residential members. The remainder came from commercial members and a small amount from public buildings. Our 2021 total expenses were $400 million. Total expenses were $6 million lower than 2020 due mainly to the decrease in power costs. 62% of our 2021 expenses were the purchase of power, $248 million. Since this is a large percentage of your expenses, your management team spends considerable effort to control this cost. When you subtract expenses from revenue, what you have left are margins. Total margins are composed of operating and non-operating margins. Operating margins in 2021 were $7.8 million. Non-operating margins were $9.6 million. Most of the non-operating margins are patronage capital from Old Dominion Electric Cooperative. Total margins in 2021 were approximately $17.5 million. Each year's margins are allocated to your capital credit account in the following year. 2021 margins of $17.5 million were allocated earlier this year. Margins were distributed proportionally to all members across all classes of membership. 80% went to residential, 9% to large commercial, 8% to small commercial. The remaining 3% was assigned to other member groups such as public buildings and outdoor lighting. At the end of 2021, REC's total equity was nearly $437 million. This is the total of all REC members' active and inactive capital credit accounts. These funds have been reinvested to improve the electric distribution system. They're the members' equity investment in substations, poles, transformers, and other equipment. In 2021, REC returned $9.6 million to its members through estate and general retirements of capital credits. A general retirement is based upon the accumulated value of capital credits assigned to your account since you first became a member of the cooperative. Your cooperative has returned over $133 million to its members. Rappahannock Electric Cooperative completed 2021 in a strong financial position. If you would like information concerning REC's financial position, the audited financial statements can be found on our website, myrec.coop, under the Governance and Document Center tab. Thank you, and we are REC.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for the Treasurer's Report. Next, Mr. Shipe, the Chairman, will provide the Chairman's Report.
With ongoing storms, supply chain challenges, and inflation, this past year has been another very challenging year for your electric cooperative, our communities, and our world. I'm Chris Shipe, and I am thankful to have the incredible honor and privilege of serving you on the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative Board of Directors. One of the many reasons I am thankful to serve on the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative Board is to help support and show appreciation for all the hard work and dedication of the Rappahannock Electric Cooperative employees and leadership. These men and women continue to meet the many challenges in front of us with great skill and care. So as we begin our annual meeting tonight, on behalf of the entire Board of Directors, I want to take a moment to thank REC staff and executive leadership team. They're amazing people who do an outstanding job of meeting the many ongoing challenges while serving each of us. Not only do they take care of day-to-day operations, they also take the time to engage with our communities by listening to you, our members' needs and expectations to ensure your cooperative is leading the way in the industry. The job of your co-op's board members is one that includes work to continually and steadfastly serve the interests of all our member owners by finding the right balance in our decisions. Finding the right balance can be particularly challenging in this time of high inflation and supply chain issues, but your board is committed to finding the right balance to ensure your power is affordable and sustainable while working to support the REC team with the right resources to maintain strong reliability in our system. In addition to finding the right balance for you, your board works hard to stay educated on emerging issues. The electric industry has encountered many changes and challenges over the past years, and I have no doubt we will continue to encounter even more. But these significant changes in the electric industry are creating many opportunities that in so many ways will be rewarding to each of you. Finding the right balance and working to plan for the many changes in front of us can be challenging at times, but it is also one of the most rewarding and fulfilling experiences I have had in serving on the board. And at tonight's annual meeting, you will be hearing updates on many initiatives that will allow Rappahannock Electric Cooperative to take advantage of the changes in front of us. I continue to be motivated and to be thankful to serve on the board because I believe strongly in the cooperative business model to deliver essential services like electricity. And I believe it is the right business model to meet the changes in front of the electric industry. In the continually uncertain and changing times, it has become vividly clear the value of electricity and the value of a dedicated, locally served, member-owned cooperative to deliver that electricity. Along with delivering safe and reliable electricity to meet your needs and expectations, your cooperative also continues to expand its efforts to support things like broadband partnerships and energy efficiency initiatives. At REC, our cooperative business model guides us to put you, our members' interests and needs first as we meet the changes in front of us. To meet the changes in front of us, as you look around, you will see many leaders, staff, programs, and initiatives at REC that are new. While the industry is experiencing a high number of retirement and changes are inevitable, we continue to focus on meeting these changes. To successfully focus on meeting these changes means REC must continue performing at a high level, and in many ways, outperform the REC you have come to depend on and respect. To meet the changes in front of us, you can expect your board of directors to work on and fully support the cooperative's efforts to conduct safe, reliable operations that underpin our strategic plan. A strategic plan that focuses on ensuring that you have the power you want when you want it. A strategic plan that ensures the value of electricity and services you receive remain affordable. And a strategic plan that ensures REC has innovative energy solutions in place that allow you to benefit from new and emerging technologies in the electric industry. You can also expect that your board is continually looking out for your interest. Based on thoughtful and strategic recommendations from leadership, the board has supported the return of over $12 million in capital credits this year, and we hope you noticed it on your July electric bill. The board has supported ongoing partnerships with internet service providers who will bring high-speed internet to unserved and underserved communities. The board has also supported ongoing budget allocations that have allowed the team to maintain a vigorous vegetation management effort to hold the line on reliability. Your board also continues to be very focused on good governance. To meet the changes in front of us, the governance practices at your cooperative have evolved tremendously over the past several years. We have listened and then worked hard to take appropriate action related to your concerns. To make sure you are aware of some of those governance efforts, please take a moment to visit the co-op's website at myrec.coop and click through the Governance Document Center. This section gives you direct access to important information about REC, such as policies, procedures, bylaws, annual reports, many financial documents, details about our filings with the state corporation, and much, much more. Also, not only do we host the annual meeting to connect with you, we additionally have made sure you have access to the board. You can communicate with us by email, which you can find on the website. And if you want to attend a meeting with the board, you can register to do that from the website as well. And we seek to continually stay in touch with you through events like Get Connected, the REC Power Hour, which is a telephone town hall meeting, and by your board of directors appearing at local events in your communities. Based on our review of many, many other electric cooperatives' websites, materials, and governance practices, we think you'll find REC is one of the most wisely transparent co-ops. Once again, I want to emphasize for you, our members, we work hard to make sure you have the information you need and want, and we encourage you to go to myrec.coop to check out the many resources that are available to you. As I wrap up, I want to conclude by making sure you know that REC's Board of Directors is an engaged and working board. To serve you, we study the issues, we learn about the latest developments in the industry, we monitor and act on member-owner feedback, we discuss issues, and most of all, we always seek to find the right balance as we make important decisions that affect you. Your board is grateful for the opportunity to serve you, and we take our role and responsibility as REC directors very seriously. REC is an amazing organization led by some of the most knowledgeable and dedicated employees in the industry. As members of the co-op board of directors, as well as the co-op leaders and employees, we are all in this together. We are REC. Thank you again for the privilege and honor of serving you as a member of the REC Board of Directors. In a moment, REC President and CEO, Mr. John Hua, will deliver his President's Report. As we lead into that, let's take a look back at how our year began.
As you saw in the video, we began the very first business day of this year with what was forecasted to be just a few inches of snow that actually became REC's historic storm of record. We appreciate and we thank you for your patience during those emergency events and during Storm Frida. And we also especially thank our team members and their families for the sacrifices they make, especially during storm restoration, to serve the membership and get the lights back on. I'm John Hua, President and CEO of REC. I hope this annual meeting finds you, your families, your businesses, and all of our communities well. On behalf of REC's leadership team and 430 employees, I would like to extend our appreciation for your participation in the annual meeting. Now, in our few moments together, I'd like to spend some time looking back to last year and the many successes your co-op has achieved, as well as discuss what's turned out to be a very challenging first half of 2022 given our storm patterns. I'd also like to share our plans about how your co-op is leaning forward with brand new innovative programs to serve you, the member owners. So first, let's take a quick look back at last year. REC delivered on its core business of providing safe, reliable, affordable, and sustainable power, as well as delivered on its values by honoring its role as a community-focused cooperative. Focusing on our core business means taking care of the grid and taking care of the membership. In 2021, our grid highlights include supporting reliability. We cleared more than 1,500 miles of rights-of-ways and removed over 27,000 hazard trees. And although we've experienced an intense storm season with power outages, these efforts have improved what the reliability could have been without those previous efforts in 2021. We also strengthened our construction standards last year, and our field crews installed or replaced more than 2,700 poles with taller, stronger, and better infrastructure to withstand powerful winds and falling trees. Our team also added over 3,300 new services last year alone. Even with significant supply chain constraints that we've all experienced, our construction teams also built over 100 miles of underground and overhead power lines. Taking care of the grid and providing you with safe and reliable power is our top goal, and that is something we will never lose sight of. We are making wise investments in our infrastructure to ensure power is there when you need it, and we realize member expectations are changing. I'm extremely thankful for our team's focus on our core values and taking care of the membership. We achieved many areas of community investment in 2021. For instance, your cooperative assisted more than 20,000 member owners with payment plans necessitated by the pandemic and administered $11.4 million in federal COVID relief funds. The REC board approved the return of more than $10 million in capital credit cashback in 2021. And our 3-year record now for cashback capital credits now tops $30 million. REC remains financially strong and well-positioned to endure the challenges that lie ahead while also facilitating in the community. Together, we invested in the future of our communities. A few examples of this investment include awarding $20,000 in scholarships for local students, awarding another $223,000 to 93 different charities across our region, supporting hundreds of community events and programs through our participation. This generosity is made possible through the 31,000 member owners who round up their electric bill to donate to the power of change. Additionally, REC employees contributed generously to our own Project Big Heart, our United Way campaign, and other co-op and community causes. Thank you to the membership and to the REC employees for your continual and ongoing care for community. Focusing now on 2022, this summer, our region has experienced a steady stream of strong thunderstorms. In aggregate, if I look back a couple of years, since 2018, we've experienced major wind, ice, snow, and thunderstorms. These storms have been consistent. My point is this: the longer-term implications for the grid and reliability are significant. While the system is aging as it normally would, it's also under very heavy and continual storm impact. We will need to invest more to meet both future growth and reliability. REC plays a significant role in facilitating in communities. This is part of our co-op model and our values. We've been encouraged by you, the members, to support the extension of fiber optics and broadband systems throughout our territory. And I'm pleased to report that the co-op is engaged in broadband partnerships across 15 counties. In the weeks ahead, we will celebrate with Firefly fiber broadband when REC's first member owners will be connected to Firefly Internet service. I can assure you we will continue to work hard and to keep you updated as to our progress in the area of broadband facilitation, and we'll announce any additional partnerships and construction plans as we move forward. Now, not only are we helping to light up broadband, the future at REC is vividly brighter. Recently, we began the launch of a new suite of innovative energy solutions designed to support member needs and focus on the wise use of electricity. And I'm really excited to announce the launch of Vividly Brighter. In this time of rising cost around the globe and other challenges, our first program to launch is our Vividly Brighter Upgrades. This program will offer energy efficiency improvements and upgrades that can help you lower your energy cost, and the improvements can be conveniently paid back on your power bill. For example, A residential member may be interested in upgrading their HVAC system. REC will come out to the member's home, will conduct a thorough energy audit, provide some advice, and work with the member and a local approved contractor to evaluate the cost and the savings of that new system. If the member decides to move forward, the contractor performs the work, and REC then provides a flexible payback on the power bill over time. The goal of this program is important. We're looking for a win-win. We're looking to lower the power bill even after the cost to pay back the new system is added. The second program we are developing in our Vividly Brighter suite is Vividly Brighter Charging. As we see an increased number of electric vehicles, REC is stepping up its ability to support members as they adopt that new technology. Our objective through Vividly Brighter Charging is to offer members convenient tools for decision making, to offer members the best rate options for charging and the economy, to offer direct support for installing charging stations at homes and businesses. Already today, we are offering a pilot EV rate program where EV drivers and hybrid plug-in drivers who sign up and charge off-peak are eligible for a $7 bill credit each month. So for those drivers, this savings on their power bill equates to about 200 miles of electric charge. I hope you've noticed we've also expanded our web resources to help members learn more about electric vehicles. Now, you can expect to hear more from us about EVs now and into the future. I'm also pleased to report we are in the early development of additional programs in the Vividly Brighter suite. These programs will support solar deployment, the utilization of batteries, and generators. I hope you're as excited as we are about Vividly Brighter and the suite of offerings. And we encourage you to learn more on our REC website. Now, at the conclusion of my remarks, please take a moment and enjoy a short video highlighting our new Vividly Brighter program. As I wrap up, I want to take a moment to recognize the REC employees for their dedication and commitment to serving you. This job that they're performing is very hazardous and very complex. And we're extremely proud of their performance and how they've stepped up in every way to serve the membership. In 2021, we ranked 6th for customer care and 16th overall in the nation among 143 utilities in the J.D. Power Residential Survey. Thank you to REC team members for that accomplishment. At REC, each employee in the field and in the office asks the same straightforward question each day. What can we do together to help our members? I can assure you we will keep that member-focused culture strong well into the future. With that, I thank you again for being with us for the 2022 annual meeting and allowing us the honor to serve as your electricity provider. Together with you, the membership, our future looks very bright. Vividly brighter, indeed.
Thank you, Chairman Shipe and Mr. Hewer, for your remarks and comments. Next on the agenda is unfinished business. Since there was no unfinished business from last year's annual meeting, we will move on to new business. Those who registered to participate in tonight's annual meeting have joined us by phone. Any member registered for tonight's meeting who would like to make a comment or ask a question has an opportunity to do so. However, this comment session is anticipated to last about 15 minutes. Please limit your remarks or questions to no more than 2 minutes so that we can speak with as many members tonight as possible. If we don't get to your question before the end of the session, REC staff will follow up with you within the following week. Please know you are always able to get in contact with REC's board and membership via our website at myrec.coop/leadership. As this is a virtual meeting, questions will be taken from those members participating by phone. To ask a question, please press 0. During the registration process, participants also had the option to submit questions in advance. To conduct the member comment session, REC is using an independent third-party entity that also has been utilized to host the Cooperatives Power Hour Town Hall events throughout the year. We have a moderator, Allison, who will connect us with each member who would like to ask a question. As a reminder, to ask a question, please press 0. With that, let's begin our member comment session, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlie. Good evening, everyone. We are going to begin with questions that were previously submitted during the registration process. But as Mr. Payne just explained, please do press 0 on the keypad on your phone if you're part of our listening audience over the phone tonight and would like to get in line with your question, comment, or concern. The first question that was previously submitted is from Bryce Robbins in Mannequin Spot, and he says, after the extended outage experienced last winter across much of the co-op, what is being done actively to address and improve the strength of infrastructure to withstand future multi-day outages? What more will be done in the next 12 months? And again, that's from Bryce.
Thank you, Bryce. That's a great question. Mr. Hua, would you like to answer that question?
Absolutely, Bryce. Thank you, first of all, for participating in this year's annual meeting. And yes, we started this year, as you saw in the video, with our storm of record that caused nearly 3,000 grid events, and we had over 100,000 consumers out. And again, I'm extremely proud of what our team did to work with a field force well over 1,000 to get everyone home safely and securely. However, we recognize that was an 8.5 to 9 day event, an outage event for many of you, and we're taking very significant steps to look at what we can do in the future to maintain that same level of safety, but to accelerate the restoration, and also, very importantly, to make sure that member owners understand the timeline as it relates to their specific outage. We made some enhancements during that outage to our outage map to convey and I believe push forward more information than REC had ever done in a previous outage or anything of significant scale, but there's more that we can do. Internally, we are conducting, and we have conducted now, an after-action review. That event was large enough at a $22 million event and the impact that it had on families and businesses that drove us to an after-action review. We have identified some 70 initiatives in 21 thematic areas across reviews, a number of reviews of our team members. And we have a number of things we're doing in the short term, near term, as well as long term. Some of those involve the installation of an automatic call-out system, a platform for crew management to enhance our ability to accept and work with and manage out-of-town crews. We're working to make some enhancements to our text alerts so that members get more precise information. And we specifically assigned staff in major events. In addition to our current team, we've assigned individuals additionally solely to focus on the restore time information, because while we don't want you to be in the dark in terms of your power outage, we certainly don't want you to be in the dark, so to speak, with respect to information. So there's a lot that we're doing. Longer term, we're looking at some major platforms to help us control the flow of data and to receive and present internally data from the membership, reports of hazards and those types of things, so that our crews can have a full view of the system as these events unfold. So thank you for your patience in this past storm. Just this evening, it's thundering and storming outside, and we've had outages today as well. It's been quite the busy year for our team, but thank you for your patience. I can assure you our team is
very much focused on what we can do in the future to first eliminate storms and then secondly get those restored as quickly and safely as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hewitt. Allison, next question.
Thank you so much. Next question comes from Carol Fisher in ALET. She says, please delineate your expertise in climate science.
Well, thank you for the question. John, would you like to answer that?
Sure. Thank you, Carol. Thank you for participating in the meeting. So first of all, we do employ about 430 very qualified, highly knowledgeable employees. In that, and in terms of our leadership team, we have a number of advanced degrees, PhDs, doctorates, Juris Doctors as well. We do not, however, employ a climate scientist, nor am I. I will say that we are very focused, though, on climate from a couple of different perspectives. One, when you talking about storms, I think from the first impact, you know, NOAA tracks and has tracked violent major storms over the last 40 years, back since the 80s. And when you look at those records, and I think we're experiencing this now, when you look at the records, the 5 highest frequency years have all been in the last decade. So what NOAA has identified, that federal agency has identified, that the storms are higher in frequency and more severity. And I think we're feeling that certainly this year, and going back to my comments about ice and wind and multiple ice and wind events the last couple of years. So frequency and intensity or severity are on the increase. That means more challenges for the grid. The second area of climate, I would say, would be with respect to carbon objectives and carbon reduction objectives around the nation. And we've followed that energy policy closely, both nationally and here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. One of REC's core elements of our mission is sustainable power. That means both business sustainability as well as environmental sustainability. And we are working with our generation transmission provider, Old Dominion Electric Co-op, who is working to provide the most economical, clean solutions in terms of our power supply. So we do have objectives and goals there. REC is not a generator of power. We have interconnected over 1,500 of our members that do have solar interconnections. And again, we're working closely with ODEC, our G&T, as they strive towards some 2035 and 2050 goals with respect to carbon that are technology dependent and certainly need to be economical. So thank you, Carol, very much for your question.
Thank you, Mr. Hewitt. Next question, please.
Thank you so much. We're going to go to Sharon live on the line right now, but I want to remind anyone else in our listening audience, if you would like to get in line with your question, comment, concern, now is the time to do that. Please press 0 on the keypad on your phone to get your question in the queue. With that, Sharon in ALET, you are live right now. Please go ahead with your question.
Hi, I want to know why this annual meeting is being held virtually and who's responsible for this decision. Most of our members are in a rural setting with unreliable or slow internet and lack of dependable cell service. For example, right now I have no internet. And if I heard Sanford Reeves correctly, he mentioned, I think, only 21 people participating live. I don't understand that because I've been a REC customer for over 32 years, and I distinctly recall that in the not-so-distant past, the annual meeting was prolifically publicized, held in a local school, and incentivized by giving away prizes. And now it appears that this annual meeting is purposefully being scheduled so as to be attended or noticed by as few as possible. I want to know what happened. I'm reminded that in December 2021, there was a court case with REC's board of directors, and they were accused of lack of transparency in their operations. And the judge commented, this is named a cooperative for a reason. And certainly the attitudes I've heard today expressed to this court that it's not as cooperative as it should be. He said the power of Rappahannock Electric Cooperative is not absolute. It's not. He said, Hugh, late in the day, that it was hard to understand how it was in the highest and best interest of co-op members to be completely locked out of the board of directors' decision-making process. So those are 2 questions that I have, and I have more following that.
Well, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate
Sharon, before I want to pass it off, I'll just remind you, we have about 20 more seconds in that 2-minute question time for Sharon. Back to you. Sorry, Mr. Payne.
Mr. Hewitt, I don't know if you want to address the issue regarding the virtual meeting?
Certainly, Sharon, again, thank you for participating and participating live, and glad to see that you were able to call in and get your question across to us. And I think, as you know, we're definitely interested in engaging with the membership. REC goes to outstanding and great lengths to be open, transparent, and highly engaging. We found, of course, we transitioned to the virtual annual meeting during the height of the pandemic. We had success with participation during those times, and we found that this forum actually works quite well. We've also continued and have now gone back to having our Get Connected events. In the last couple of years, in the last year, we've also introduced member comment segments for a number of our board meetings 4 times throughout the year. We also conduct what we call Power Hour, and just a few weeks ago, or last month, we out-dialed 50,000 members to engage with them for an hour. In fact, we ran about an hour and a half almost. There were so many good conversations that we were having. So REC is clearly, and I've worked with electric cooperatives in Florida, Texas, in Virginia here, of course, and I've also worked for the National Trade Association representing and working with 900 electric co-ops, 844 of those being distribution co-ops across the nation. And I can tell you, beyond the shadow of a doubt, REC is one of the most, as you heard from our chairman, wisely transparent co-ops in the nation. We're proud of what we're doing. And, you know, that showed with our number 6 ranking in J.D. Power and customer care last year. We also had a communications ranking in the top 10. So I'm proud of what the team's doing, and we are doing our best to make sure that all member owners have a voice, that they're heard, and that there are multiple venues to engage with the co-op.
Thank you, Mr. Hewitt. Mr. Shipe,
I just want to clearly state that everything we do is to be transparent and be open and be more accessible. And in fact, this meeting makes it much easier for members to attend. And we provide multiple forums for our members to engage with us. And we certainly enjoy engaging with our members, and we certainly enjoy having this dialogue. And we work very, very diligently to be transparent. And I think some comments maybe have been taken out of context or being misconstrued, but your board works very hard to be engaged and to be accessible.
Thank you. Thank you both, Mr. Shipe, Mr. Hewitt. Let's not forget the large number of those participating via proxy this evening, well over 15,000, which is one of our largest numbers, I believe, that we've had participate in our meetings. So that is very exciting. And I think goes to show that the virtual meetings are very effective. Next question, please.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I'll remind everyone that to get in line with your own question, comment, or concern, please press 0 on the keypad on your phone. We have no more previously submitted questions, but a few members did indicate during that registration process that they would like to ask their own question live. So again, right now is the time to do that by pressing 0 on the keypad on your phone to get your question in line. Again, reminding everyone live on the line to get in line with your own question, comment, concern. We'd love for you to join our conversation. Please press 0 on the keypad on your phone. We are drawing towards the close of our meeting. So I'll remind everyone right now is the time to do that. Excellent. Looks like we had Sharon come in again. Let's get Sharon back live here. Sharon, my apologies. Sorry about that. You're live. Please go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to know, why are REC's directors and leadership promoting the Marxist ideology of diversity, equity, and inclusion? And wanted to ask also for the leadership to comment on how ESG, environmental, social, and governance score has influenced their decision to push the DEI management style, which is where REC can suffer financially from these decisions. I just came across an article today regarding Southwest Airlines for outlining the damage that DEI has inflicted upon safety and hiring. This is a hazardous profession, as Ms. Carpenter remarked, and also Mr. Hewer remarked. So I'd like comments on that.
Well, thank you, Sharon, for your comments. Again, we respect people's opinions and positions. Again, this forum is not created for a political debate or sort of discussion back and forth regarding certain matters that are outside the purview of Rappahannock Electric Co-op. But Mr. Hugh or Mr. Shipe, I don't know if you'd like to address the comment or
go first,
question.
John, or would you like me?
Absolutely. And Sharon, again, thank you for your question here. Yeah, we're thrilled with our culture here at the co-op. I couldn't be more proud of our team members and how they work together for the common cause of serving the membership. And again, you don't achieve a 16th in the nation J.D. Power score and the kind of member satisfaction input without a team that's really deeply engaged. We have 430 diverse, outstanding employees that bring different talents to the table. And we're serving over 150,000, member owners with 172,000 connections. So our co-op is working to be as diligent and careful and caring as possible to respond to just such a wide range of needs. We truly appreciate the perspectives and the input of each of our member owners, from residential through commercial to large industrial. And we want to make sure that we are a team that is just very much focused on what the membership needs from us and how to continue to serve well, to serve safely, reliably, affordably, and of course with sustainable services. So thank you again for your question, and we'll continue to make sure that we make gains across our entire spectrum of responsibilities and objectives.
Mr. Shipe?
Yeah, I just want, once again, very respectfully disagree with your characterization. At Rappahannock, we certainly embrace diversity. We've got many folks from many diverse backgrounds. We've got board of directors from many diverse backgrounds. We feel that brings us great strength in that it gives us different ideas and allows us to debate issues and bring different types of perspectives and different types of strengths and backgrounds, and it all makes our co-op better. At Rappahannock, unfortunately, DEI, maybe some organizations or some folks view it as indoctrination or some kind of political thing. At Rappahannock, all we're saying is we have a culture of caring. We have a culture that embraces different ideas to make us all stronger and all work better together. I truly believe if you talk to any of our Rappahannock employees, they will tell you that they feel like board and the management is there to support them, give them the tools they need, the resources they need to serve you, our members. And so, again, it's unfortunate that this very worthwhile idea of embracing different viewpoints and different backgrounds to bring strength has been mischaracterized.
Thank you, Mr. Hugh and Mr. Shipe. Appreciate your comments. Any other questions?
There are no further member comments or questions right now.
Thank you, Allison. There being this is the end of our member comment segment of the meeting. We're now at the adjournment. The 2022 annual meeting is now adjourned, and the online voting portal is now closed. As a reminder, the election results will be announced tomorrow afternoon on the Cooperatives website, www.myrec.coop. And we thank you all for your participation this evening and wish you all well. Thank you.